Now at 6, a second Joplin police officer who was shot on Tuesday will not recover. We'll have more from this afternoon's news conference and how the community is showing support.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The tragedy deepens from Tuesday's shooting of 3 Joplin police officers. Police say a second officer will not survive. This is KOAM News at 6. In a news conference this afternoon, police and city leaders identified that officer as Patrolman Jake Reed. Police Chief Sloan Rowland made the announcement after consulting with Reed's family. Officer Reed was 5 years into his career. Authorities say Reed is an organ donor and will continue saving lives after giving his own for the safety of our community. This news comes as the 4 states grieves for the loss of Corporal Benjamin Cooper, who died from injuries suffered in the same shootout near 4th and Range Line in Joplin on Tuesday. Police this afternoon also released the name of an officer who was shot but survived. Officer Ricky HIRSHEY was shot in a second encounter with the suspect near 9th and Connecticut. HIRSHEY is in serious but stable condition. He's served more than 20 years with the JPD. Officials also highlighted Captain William Davis, who shot the suspect. Davis was not shot. Davis has served more than 15 years in the department. Chief Rowland says Davis's actions saved more lives.
It should be noted that Captain Davis left a position of cover, exposing himself while the suspect was firing a weapon at officers. If not for Captain Davis's actions, additional officers or citizens could have been killed. We ask that you also pray for Will and his family in the days to come.
The knowledge and the skill that he has in his head and his body is significant. But at the same time, his heart is bigger than that skill. And so I'm so thankful that he was able and capable and prepared and successful. But at the same time, I certainly want to honor all of the work that he's done at JPD.
The city has not yet announced plans for funeral services. City leaders thanked the citizens and the community for their outpouring of support. You can see this afternoon's entire news conference on KOAMnewsnow.com. Flowers from the public to honor the 3 officers who were shot remain on display, although they are no longer outside. The flowers and other mementos had accumulated on a patrol car parked outside the police department. Police this afternoon moved them indoors so they'll be protected from the wintry weather. A lot of 4-staters are asking, what can I do to help? Well, a spokesman for the JPD says one way is by donating to the Joplin Fraternal Order of Police Foundation. The foundation set up a GoFundMe to collect donations for the families of the officers involved. Donations can also be made at the department. We've provided a link to the GoFundMe on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Area businesses are also getting involved in raising money. Joplin Sports and Graphics is making shirts and hats with the slogans "Back the Blue" and "We Are Joplin Strong." They say all of the proceeds will go to the families of the 3 officers who were shot.
It reminds me how much of a community that we are. I watched this rally after the tornado and really step up, and I think that we're going to do the same with this situation.
Organizers say the shirts and the hats will cost $25 each. They can be purchased until March 20th. We do have some wintry weather moving in. Let's check in with Doug Heddy.
We do. We have winter weather advisories in effect across the entire region for light snow working in this evening into the overnight hours and then again throughout the daytime hours for us tomorrow. This is not a big system by any means. It's a nuisance. It's going to cause some issues on the roadways as we go into the morning hours for us tomorrow. But you can see everybody highlighted under a winter weather advisory. Earlier today, we had the first batch that did produce some light snow in our northern counties. Maybe a dusting, nothing big, but now you can see the band setting up. This is mainly north of Nevada, right about Fort Scott, over toward Iola and Yates Center. This is where the light snow is continuing to increase, and this will continue to increase along and north of I-44 over the next several hours, and then eventually it will start to shift off toward the south. So of course we're going to break this all down, talk about how much you're going to get here in just a bit.
See you then. Former Parsons High School students allege a former teacher acted inappropriately toward them as students and that those actions continued after they graduated. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky has more.
Former Parsons High School students are speaking out and saying their former teacher acted inappropriately towards them and their classmates. Now, that teacher has resigned.
My mindset was always like, oh, if it was weird, like he didn't mean it like that. But I'm like, maybe he did.
The two girls we spoke with asked not to be identified.
And back then I thought, that was kind of weird.
Recently, former students have been posting screenshots of inappropriate messages from the former Parsons teacher. We are not releasing his identity as no charges have been made against him. Sherry McGuire with the Parsons Police Department did share some details over the phone. She tells us they did investigate the situation and found that while his actions did violate school policy, none of his actions were found to be sexual in nature. That's based on the initial investigation. McGuire did say there is a possibility for this to be reopened. Parsons Superintendent Lori Ray said over the phone that this was a personnel issue and wouldn't answer when asked if the district was aware of his alleged actions.
All of those are personnel things that I can't share. He resigned on Tuesday. That resignation was accepted by our board on Tuesday evening. He's not involved in the upcoming New York trip.
But former students remember their teacher's inappropriate actions and comments.
And I put a picture of me laying on my back saying something about having no boobs, and he replied to it saying that it was just because I was laying down. And I was like, weird that he would reply.
They say the comments and messages started after they graduated, but still remember occurrences from him when they were students.
There was something that did kind of alarm me back then. And it was the fact that my fellow classmate, female students mainly, they had him on social media and they had his phone number.
In Parsons, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Sherry McGuire says any students receiving inappropriate texts or messages should tell their parents or guardians immediately. Coming up, Missouri Southern announces a new program at a panel discussing the conflict in Ukraine. Plus, duck boat tours are returning to Branson, how the new company plans to keep people safe. Missouri Southern today hosted a panel to discuss the war in Ukraine. That panel included 2 history professors, a political scientist, and an international business professor who spent time in Ukraine. The school also announced a scholarship fund for area high school students from Ukraine to attend MSSU.
I know we're all kind of worried about this at this time, but there is good in this world, and this world is overwhelmingly good, and we need to remember that no matter what happens, there will always be good.
Billingsley Student Center's Phelps Theater hosted the panel. A new company is bringing duck boats back to Branson and in a new location. The Branson area has been without this attraction since 2018, when 17 people died on a duck boat during severe weather. Reporter Madison Horner has more on how the new company says it's handling tourist safety.
The duck tours will be leaving from the Branson Landing and setting sail on Lake Taneycomo. The tours will take place on the Hydroterra amphibious vehicle. Josh Blumenthal with the duck tours says the vehicles are the biggest asset to their safety plan.
The largest improvement to our vehicles that differentiates them is the foam-filled hull, and that prevents sinking.
Additional safety measures include captain visibility from all passenger seats, wider aisleways, and an improved fire suppression system.
Our boats will not have side curtains. And I think that's really important because that was such a big part of what added to the 2018 tragedy.
Branson Landing Marketing Director Nikki Kinney says having entertainment for families in Branson is very important. She hopes the added safety measures put visitors at ease.
I'm going to put my family on it. I'm going to go ride them this spring. I have no issues at all with getting inside one, and I'm very excited about the brand new vessel that they have for us.
Duckboat survivor Tia Coleman lost 9 family members in 2018. Coleman's trial attorney Andrew Duffy says the families have safety concerns about tours on Table Rock Lake, but the change of location and safety measures from a new company helps somewhat.
As long as this new duckboat company puts safety first and makes sure that their people are adequately trained, that they can turn off the entertainment and turn on the safety procedures immediately, then I do not necessarily say that this type of duckboat should not be allowed anywhere.
The new company says duck tours are expected to open this spring, either at the end of April or the beginning of May. A little bit later, all conference honors for Macaulay Catholic basketball standouts.
Plus, snow chances increasing for us this evening. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a chilly day for us today. Our southern counties warmed to right around 50, but everybody has been dropping pretty quickly over the past couple hours. Winter weather advisory in effect for the entire region, and this is for light snow, which is going to work in. It's starting to develop now, and will work through the region tonight into the daytime hours tomorrow. Not a big system by any means, but enough that it's going to cause some issues on the roads across the region as we go through about the next 12 to 18 hours. Look at the band of snow this morning, mainly affecting Kansas City, but it did affect our northern counties. So we had some light snow showers. Some areas got a dusting upwards to ½ an inch. It melted really quickly, so pretty much we're starting from scratch once again with this next band. But you can see it developing in our northern counties. So Pittsburgh, Joplin, everybody else, Neosho, Miami, Carthage, all dry. But as you work farther north of Nevada, over towards Chanute, that's where we're starting to see the light snow picking up. So let's zoom in. Here's Yates Center, some light snow, Iola, some light snow, Humboldt, right on the edge of Chanute, also Fredonia. Let's track a little bit farther toward the east. You can see Fort Scott, Nevada, right on the southern line, but the northern part of Vernon and also Bourbon County getting a little bit of light snow. This will continue to increase as we go through the evening hours for us, as this next little band is working toward the entire region. Nice shot, Landers, Chevrolet Tower Cam. We are looking on the southeast of Joplin. Temperatures for us now, big difference. If you haven't been outside, it got pretty cold. We're at 23 in Iola, 27 Independence, still hanging on to the 40s. Far southern counties, but everybody is dropping. It's kind of windy, so it makes it feel a little bit colder than what it actually is. 7th and Range Line currently sitting at 30, so we've dropped 5 degrees in the past hour. North winds at 16. That gives us a wind chill of 19 degrees. Through the evening hours, actual temp continues to drop back, eventually near 20 a little bit later on tonight. All right, let's work through time. Here comes this band of snow. Here's 9 p.m. It's still north of I-44. I don't think it's even going to pass south of I-44 until after midnight. Kind of getting into the metro by 11, 12, 1 o'clock, and then continues to work farther south as we go through the morning hours. This is all light snow, so snow rates are going to be very low, 1/4 inch an hour, so just very light snow working through. So here's 6:30 in the morning. We are going to have some issues on the roads in the morning. We're not going to get a lot of snow, but we're going to have some slick spots because temperatures are going to be into the lower 20s. As we warm during the day tomorrow, I think the roads become slushy, and then they're in general probably pretty good shape by tomorrow afternoon. Most of this is going to roll out of here by early afternoon. Snowfall amounts in general, the entire region, 1 to 3 inches of snow. I'm kind of thinking 1 to 2, but we are going to have some isolated 3-inch amounts across probably in southwestern Missouri. All right, 35 tomorrow, down to 11 tomorrow night. So a cold night, 37 on Saturday, and then by Sunday, gosh, we're approaching 60. So we're going to have a big melt-a-thon over the weekend.
Yeah, springing forward, and then warmer temperatures. It will definitely feel like spring by the end of the weekend.
Next week's going to be a pretty good week.
Tomorrow morning, people have to be careful.
Yes, they do.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, the El Dorado Springs girls play for a spot in the state championship game, and Player of the Year honors for Macaulay Catholic senior basketball player. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, today is a big day for the El Dorado Springs girls basketball program. The Bulldogs are on the floor in the state semifinals this afternoon in Springfield, aiming to move on to the state championship game. El Dorado Springs facing the Stratford Indians in that semifinal game. That one is final. Bulldogs win a great one, 46-44. Reese Shaw finishes with 19 points, 17 rebounds to lead El Dorado Springs. They'll now move on to face South Shelby in the state championship game tomorrow afternoon. Macaulay Catholic senior Kennedy Dury is the Ozark 7 Conference Player of the Year. And Dury helped the Warriors go 18-11 this season and finish as the Class 1 District 5 runner-up. She did a bit of everything for McCallie. Dury averaged 16 points and nearly 6 rebounds per game this season. She also posted 4 assists and 4 steals per night. And Dury leaves McCallie as the program's 4th all-time leading scorer with 1,379 points.
When I was a freshman, I saw Courtney Bates get it, and I think I was always striving for that because it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and I put in the work in the off season. This was my senior year. I wanted to go out with a bang. I was really, really honored with us losing our key player, Kaylee. I knew that I had to step up, and I wanted to take that and use it as a challenge to motivate me and to get better.
We have 3 Southeast Kansas teams competing in state basketball tournaments tonight. In Class 3A, the Frontenac girls are on the floor this evening in the state quarterfinals. They're the 7th seed in the bracket, facing 2nd-seeded Nickerson. That game is just getting started. Raiders are down just 2 at the end of the first quarter. Also in the girls 3A bracket, the Cherryville Chargers aim for the upset today against the top-seeded Silver Lake Eagles. Silver Lake, though, too good today. Chargers fall 63-33. Cherryville finishes the season with a 15-9 overall record. To the boys' side now, the Colgan Panthers are the 8th seed in the 2A bracket. They have undefeated top-seeded Valley Falls in the first round tonight. That's at the end of the first quarter. Colgan trails 12-9. We'll have the latest from this one right here tonight at 10. The Big 12 men's basketball tournament is this week in Kansas City. The Kansas Jayhawks are the #1 seed in the bracket after going 25-6 in the regular season. The Jayhawks up against West Virginia this afternoon in the tournament quarterfinals. Christian Brown here, up to Ochai Agbaji for the alley-oop. Hawks up 4. A few minutes later, Agbaji drives and scores. KU already up double digits. Midway through the half, after a missed layup, Mountaineers head coach Bob Huggins doesn't like the no call. Actually gets tossed from the game. Didn't get any better from there for West Virginia. DeJuan Harris, no-look pass to Jalen Wilson for the lay-in. Pushes the lead to 18. Then Harris to Agbaji. Agbaji finishes with 18. KU rolls by West Virginia today, 87-63. Now, staying with Big 12 basketball, Kansas State head coach Bruce Weber announced today he's resigning from his position with the program. He spent 10 years in Manhattan. In those 10 seasons, he won 184 games and made the NCAA National Tournament 5 times, including making the Elite 8 in 2018. Now, the Wildcats were knocked out of the Big 12 tournament last night, finishing the season with a 14-17 overall record. Finally, the MLB lockout is over. Major League Baseball and the Players Association agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement today that ends the league's 99-day lockout. Spring training will open Sunday. Free agent signings can begin on Thursday. The regular season is expected to begin in early April with a full 162-game regular season. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Dalton Parks served in the U.S. Army. The Lamar, Missouri native was stationed in Afghanistan, and we are proud to salute Specialist Dalton Parks. He's tonight's 4-state hero. You need to be aware that we do have some wintry weather moving into the 4 states tonight.
We do. We are going to get some light snow across the region. This is not going to be heavy snow by any means, but 1 or 2 inches likely across most of the region. So we are going to have some slick roads as we go into the morning hours. They will improve by tomorrow afternoon. 35 for a high, down to 11 tomorrow night.
Final sports notes.
Missouri Southern freshman Lacey Stokes named first team All-Central Region today, so another honor for the outstanding freshman.
Very good. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's be strong. Let's support each other. Let's make it a great evening.